Let me see. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast for the purpose. And this is Sunday Night Live. But if you're listening to us in the morning, the evening, or the afternoon, thank you for joining us afterwards. But we are live right now on StreamYard, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, man. And we try to do this every Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about what's happening in the community, what happened this past week, checking on our community, how y'all doing, how y'all feeling, how we're doing. And that's how we continue to grow. You know, ain't nothing wrong with a good check in with our people every time, every now and then, every time to time, because it's needed. All right. So we do about 15, 30 minutes, sometime an hour streaming. Then we take a little bit of time just with our community and we talk off stream. Okay. Build community. That's what we like to do. And y'all, your brother got a new job. Shout out to my previous organization. You know, it is love, growth, has had a lot of good connections built, learn lessons, and happy to grow and go to something new. If you know my testimony, it has been an adventure coming back to Texas, and the journey is still going forward. So we continue to stay in positive, continue to grow, love, and let my light shine. You dig? So we're excited about that. I got my clothes laid out like I'm about to go to school for the first day. Cause baby, this heat and hit. But I'm excited. I truly am excited. But before we go any further, I must say, rest in peace and in power, Kiki or Aunt Kiki Sheppard. Man, this great individual is from my hometown. And it's so unique that last week we were just talking about hometown haters. Okay. And the main topic, if you missed it, was should you support people from your hometown and should you have expectations from your hometown connections to support you back? And Kiki Sheppard is an example of that. That what I've seen in my lifetime. I guess I have a little bit of a different view of it because Kiki, like I said, you heard me say, earlier, on Kiki Sheppard, Aunt Kiki was actually connected or have a friendship with my auntie. My aunt, I ain't gonna give y'all. Can't give y'all all the connections. I got my aunt Sheila, my aunt Brenda, my aunt Carolyn, and my aunt Marcia. Okay, when I first started living with my auntie, that within 2 weeks, we went to go visit Aunt Kiki in Dallas, Texas. She had a show. Okay. And seeing friends like that laughing, cackling, and just having a good time and having a connection. They've been friends since middle school, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a beautiful thing to see. So rest in peace, Kiki Sheppard. If y'all don't know who Kiki Sheppard is, because I'm finding out a lot of people of my culture, the younger culture though. I get that's a whole different culture. But the young folks, I was talking to my nephew and I was telling him about his, he telling him, your great grandmother friend passed away, Kiki Sheppard. And he like, who's that? Who's that? I was like, Kiki Sheppard from the Apollo, Showtime from the Apollo. He was like, what's the Apollo? What's Showtime at the Apollo? We losing recipes, y'all. We losing recipes. What you mean? You don't know who Kiki Sheppard or Showtime at the Apollo is? Help me understand that, man. Help me understand that. But he young. He 19. How you doing, James? He's 19. And him and his lady did not know who Kiki Sheppard was. And me growing up, once again, 80s baby, Kiki Sheppard was that woman. Like even before I knew it as Aunt Kiki, it was like she was the epitome for a black woman's beauty. That she was the co-host for Showtime at the Apollo for 16 years. And that she would come out, introduce the new artist, comedian, or whatever they are doing to the set, Kiki made the show. I would say Vanna White was a black Kiki Sheppard, if y'all even know who Vanna White is. Okay. And her coming from, to find out she from my hometown, that she's good friends with my aunt, and me meeting her for the first time, and you know, she old school with had to say, and how she shared. She did a one woman show talking about her life, and it helped me out in life to see the artistic perspective from someone from our hometown at that level. Okay, to see her on TV every week, you know what I mean? That was pretty, and you can go watch it on YouTube. Look, you can Google her. Okay, just as simple, and to see that she was getting support from, not only she worked closely with Mark Curry, the brother from Hanging with Mr. Cooper. She worked closely with Steve Harvey. She was in the Wiz. I mean, she has a resume. Okay, she started out, once again, being from Tyler, Texas. Of course, she graduated from MJ Scott. Shout out to all the Scotties out there. I need to take time and really do a conversation with all y'all, for real, for real, because that's history. She went to was it North Texas? Then she went to Howard. There she became a Delta, and she started dancing. And from dancing, she started to dance around the world. She even with the was it Lagos, if I'm pronouncing correctly. She lived a life. She's been on Broadway several times, either as an actress or a voice actor. She she was once again, like, everybody talk about Earl Campbell, being from the hometown of Tyler, Texas. We talk about athletes, but as an artist, a dancer, someone that's beauty. Her sister was, um, I can't think of her sister name right now, but her older sister was like Miss Black USA. So just beautiful family, all in all. And it was amazing to just, for to see her on television, to know she have a connection to my family, and they are still good friends. And I try to call my aunties and just tell them I love them, because it had me thinking. I'm like, man, they're in their 70s now. Kiki passed away at the age of 74, and they just gave her roses last week at an event in LA. But it had me thinking, Colin, checking on my aunties, and I know they talk about they have other friends and people they know in their community, and they grew up with, has passed away. But I got close friends that I've been friends with since Head Start, middle school, high school, college. And you've been, once again, if you've been friends with someone 50 plus years, and to lose them, that'll go hit you different. It truly is. So if my aunties, if y'all listening to this, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all continue to stick together and lean on one another, and y'all continue to lean on us as well. I know losing a friend ain't gonna ever be easy, especially y'all done lived a long life together, but let's thank God for that. But amazing individuals. Okay. I would say with these women, and if y'all know me, I love taking pictures. I may not always post the pictures, but I still got the pictures of them. When we went to see Kiki, when I was 12 years old, I was 12. I'll be 40 this year. And I'm just thinking, it had me thinking with me and my buddies, my pals, my friends, you know what I mean? And it's just, we lost one of our good friends at a young age, and they probably did too. But it's just like, man, one day we gonna be there if God allows it. Hopefully, one day we get older, that we can look at our accomplishments, and we're still able to call each other, check on one another, share our stories, and continue to spread legacy to one another, to our youth. So I don't want to go another day and want people don't know who Kiki Sheppard was, and what she may have meant to our, not only our hometown family, our friendships and relationships we have with one another, but especially within the culture of being a Black American. Like from Outkast mentioning her in songs, and I mean, once again, it's something that we want to recognize. So I'm gonna put a little bit more love and time and recognizing her this upcoming week, knowing she's accomplished and what she's done and who she was and how we can people probably followed her footsteps and don't even know it. But yeah, I thought about I'm telling when my nephew was like he didn't know who Kiki Sheppard was or the Apollo. I like, bruh. And of course, I talked to him. I just didn't dismiss it. But I said, this is what the Apollo is. This is what it represented. It's just such an impact into our community. And then I did a little bit more research about why the Apollo is not being utilized like it could, and because ownership being passed. There people are fighting to keep the building still there. The Apollo, and then my house is bigger than the Apollo, by the way. I was able to visit it. Oh, I was able to visit it when I went to New York, and I thought it was going to be something huge, but it was much smaller than way smaller than what I expected. But watching the Apollo coming up, Showtime at the Apollo, that's where you really could see if you could make it. I know people compare with hold on. Was Def? Let's Google this before I. Was Def Comedy Jam at the Apollo, Joe? At the Apollo? At the Apollo? Let me look. Let me look. Let me look. Am I right about this? Yeah, Listen. Like I wasn't tripping. That's what Def Comedy Jam was held. So, and knowing the Sandman, if you was trying to get off to show up and really show your talents and skills seriously, you probably go to Apollo. Okay. Either as a comedian, dancer, singer, rapper, go to the Apollo. And the crowd's gonna let you know. You had to come out strong. If you ain't with it, man, you start getting booed, heckled, and that Sandman come out sliding and dancing with that cane. Man, that was a feeling I never wanted as a child. I ain't gonna let it again, that's a conversation we have another day about our culture and a little bit that shame we got and that teasing. But it is something that it was part of our culture. And I think we should still remember it. 'Cause I think about Drewski. Was it could have been records? That was like that's almost like a version of Showtime on the Apollo to a sense, but not with the huge crowd. But we're watching them through like social media more. And I wonder, I know they try to bring back the Showtime at the Apollo like in 2018, but I wonder if they brought it back again. I don't know. That's a conversation we're having today. Do y'all believe we should bring back Showtime at the Apollo? It's not going to be the same, but do y'all think it'll be good for the culture? I want y'all to let us know. How do you feel if we brought back Showtime at the Apollo? I know we tried it before, but we could do it again. Who should host it? Who should be the it ain't gonna be no next Kiki Sheppard, but who should be the next co-host? And they should show um um like a remembrance of her every time, because they had the bust, you had the rub and things of that nature. I'm just spitballing right now. Y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me. But yeah, I just wanted to. That's been on my mind this weekend. Y'all think it'd be good. And once again, if y'all looking for the link, I will send y'all the link in the moment. I will drop it into the chat that we have on TikTok. So don't worry about that. I'll send it in a second if y'all want to join over here. But yeah, and what else this week? This has been a unique week once again from the having a little bit of a break from work. I don't mind. I was able to get some things done around the house. I was able to relax, get some good workouts. Putting together a schedule for my diet, proper eating, and things of that nature. Also, what's going on around the world? It's a lot of things happening. Once again, we ain't gonna be on here right now. We're just keeping it light, a little something, a little ski taste of an episode, a conversation. But what's up, Rose? Appreciate the love, man. One, things that's happening in this government, all of it need to stop. People need to start recognizing their bias Stop voting for your bias and start voting for your best interest. I said this before, I say it again. Stop voting for your bias, what you feel or what you like, because somebody way somebody look, rather than what is somebody actually going to do. We wouldn't be in the situation we're in now. We have a lot of things that it shouldn't be the way we have now in this world right now, this country. And all these things do affect us on so many different levels. Be better people. You know, I would say be Christ like, but y'all need to take the time to look what was Christ like. Go look up yourself, build that relationship yourself. Okay. Stop. Oh Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. See, that's why I don't like talking. I'm gonna go down there and my blood pressure get high. But did y'all see two meteors? Two meteors landed in the US. Both of them made. I didn't hear the one in Houston. Like it was some big booms, like sonic booms that hit when they entered the atmosphere. One was in Ohio, and the other one landed in Cypress, Texas, like right outside of Houston. Now, I watch too many sci-fi movies, and that's what I like. What is this? I need more information. How like did we see these things coming? Where did it come from? What did it like? Can I get a little help here? And what scares me is, do we have the scientists or the what is it meteorologists who I know this administration fired a lot of people that had the intelligence to give us assistance and knowledge about these things. I need more. How did this happen? And are we going to expect more meteorites that land into that was it only two? Did the other ones happen around the world? I'm just so like, this is piquing my interest. Listen, I don't live in fear. I live in faith. But I legit prayed when I heard about the one in Houston. I like it's two meteorites. I don't know if this is normal. Somebody educate me if y'all know what's going on. But y'all ever watched the show on the movie on Netflix called Which Way Is Up? Hold on. It's maybe not Which Way Is Up. It's not Which Way. It's something up. Netflix up. Nah, it's not up. I just know Leonardo. Let me see. Whoa, Don't Look Up. That's what it's called. Don't Look Up. Watch that. I watched that movie a little bit too many times, and it feels like there's something going on they're not saying. That's all I can say. Okay, I'm gonna put it on that. But hey, Jay, but yeah, now we perfect. We about to hit our 20 minutes, and like I say, we just chopping on here just to chop it up and give love and have conversation about recognizing friendships and connections. Show love to the late great Kiki Sheppard. Um, and then we will talk more about like because she's Black history once again, hometown history, the Apollo, and when hearing a 19-year-old and 21-year-old don't know these two people that should be etched in our history. That's a little listen, Unc felt like I wasn't doing my job. How do we slip this? How did this get past us? You know? Or do y'all feel like it's important? I feel like it's very important. How do y'all feel? But overall, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great week. Pray for me and I'll pray for y'all. Make sure to like, share, comment, and anywhere you listen to Everything Culture. We'd love to have y'all. We'll chop it up with y'all later. Peace.